We are live. Let me know how the audio is, if you can hear me okay. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Let's let everyone get situated. I'm going to take a sip of my water. How is your weather today? Ours is just perfect. It started off pretty cold this morning, but now it's sunny and gorgeous. Okay, yeah, let me know if the audio's okay, and if it's not, we can bring it in a little bit. But yeah, we just are taking this outside because it's gorgeous. How's everybody doing today? Let me know. What's your weather like? Is it as perfect as it is over here? Perfect, right? Today we're going to talk about Lent 2020. What are you guys giving up for Lent? Have you decided yet? What are you adding for Lent? I know that was the trend recently in the past few years. It's about adding something for Lent, not taking away necessarily. So what are you taking away? What are you adding? This one may wake up in a little bit to join us. I'm going to be sharing with you several resources, but I feel that there is an abundance of resources online. We don't lack for that. What this live stream, my hope for this live stream is to help consolidate your plans, like to help streamline them. And my hope is that by the end of this, you'll have a better idea of what your plans look like if you haven't already made them. So if you have made your plans, please let us know what your Lent plans are. You are going to be contributors because we're all in this together. We're going to help each other out, have the best Lent ever, right? Lent 2020. So I'm going to wait just a little longer and then we'll jump into it. But if you haven't planned your Lent out yet, use this time right now, this live stream, use it to do that. You can kind of half listen to me, you can go in and out, but use this time to do that. Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying sorry, I can't multitask. I can't flip pages and talk at the same time, clearly. Okay, so, but my first question is, where are you at this year? Oh, thank you. Where are you at this year? Did you just have a baby? And you don't have to answer this in the chat, you can, but just rhetorically, where are you at in life? Is this a survival mode year? I'm talking mostly to mothers in this live stream, but you can apply it to your own situation too. I am at the desert. You are in the desert for Lent, or literally, you're actually in the desert. And keep in mind, Laura, from What Laura Likes, mentioned this in her Lenten video, that when we're giving something up, you're in Saudi Arabia, you're really in the desert. When we're giving something up, we must give it up wholeheartedly. So we think about things that we can do wholeheartedly. What can we do where we're not going to be the Israelites in the desert grumbling? Oh, I gave up this, blah, blah, blah. What can we give up wholeheartedly? So with that perspective in mind, where are you at? Did you just have a baby? Are you ill? Like, think about truly, check into that. And if you are in survival mode, I want you to consider that when making your Lenten plans, because we want to make plans that we can stick to, yes, but also that help us grow in holiness. And if it's so far beyond, we're going to get overwhelmed and then just toss them. Okay, I have a 16-month-old partly nursing and homeschooling my 6 sons. Oldest is 14. Okay, so that is your stage in life. You can think about your vocation. Think about vocational order. Are you a wife and mom? Are you single? So think about that before we proceed. Okay. Next. All right. Paul says, this Lent I need to do the Rosary. Yes. Yes. Rosaries are wonderful. There's so many graces from saying the Rosary. All right. So if you are in survival mode, I recommend having a basic Lent. Now, I'm not saying an easy Lent, but a basic Lent. Keep it simple. Keep it it's very straightforward what we need to do to grow in our faith. The Catholic Church provides all that for us. It's the sacraments, it's the Mass, it's confession, it's saying our prayers. You know, the Rosary is a great devotion. We have all these devotions that we can do all year round. And if it is a survival mode year for you, I recommend just be okay with checking into those things that are so obvious, the things we know, duh, pray more, go to church more, you know, pray the Rosary. So I recommend that. Now, if it's a level 2 or a level 3 kind of a year, I'm going to give some ideas for that too. But don't be overwhelmed by this if it's a survival mode year for you, okay? You talk to God and reflect on what He wants you to do this year, okay? We cool with that? Is that all right? All right, so for Lent, there are 3 basic things we're supposed to do: prayer, almsgiving, and why am I forgetting? It's on the tip of my tongue. Prayer, almsgiving, and fasting. How did I fasting, Lord? Wow. Keep you humble. Catholic Marathon Mom is homeschooling 2 teens, welcoming the 3rd baby at the end of summer, welcoming a new daughter-in-law this summer, hubby's diaconate ordination in the fall. Oh, life is busy and full. Oh, 3rd grandbaby. Oh, yes, 3rd grandbaby. Wonderful. And thank you, Carla. Yes, fasting. It's all about humility, right? It's the virtues we need to work on. But so yes, those are the 3 things: almsgiving, fasting, and prayer. And so we're gonna go through all those and kind of think through some ways that we can personalize the Lent to be most effective for you. Okay. So, all right. So I already did check into what kind of Lent you are having and what can you give wholeheartedly without grumbling. All right. And I'm going to ask you a question. It can be rhetorical. You can answer in the chat if you want to. What are you struggling with currently? Like, what is an area that you feel that you can grow this Lent? So you can think about, what virtues do I want to cultivate, whether that's patience with maybe losing your temper with children if you're in the mom life, or just kind of think about in your day-to-day, because we think about these grand big plans. But then when it comes down to it, it's all about doing the next right thing in the moment to moment. So in the moment to moment, what are you struggling with? So you can just think that in your head or share it. And from there, let's work on tailoring a plan to you. So I'm going to give you some ideas. So I like charts. So I've got this chart here. I'm hoping to make it digital and I'll share it, but it's not digital yet. So what healthy habits or attachments are you struggling with right now? So for example, negativity. If you're constantly being negative in your head or outwardly, you can give up complaining. You could read beautiful affirming words from the Bible daily. And the Psalms is a great example. If you feel attached more to social media, that you could give up one social platform. You could only check social 1 time a day. Delete all the apps from your phone. You can add something to add if you're dealing with social media attachment as opposed to like in-person, you're not doing those in-person attachment meetups because you're talking on social or whatever. Schedule a meetup with a good friend and make it happen. We all have those friends that we're close to and we just connect digitally because life is crazy. Well, maybe this Lent you can actually connect with that person in real life. If we're struggling with TV, movies, Netflix, an idea would be have a time cap. Have a time cap. No TV or movies alone. Maybe it's a family movie night. Or you want to be like level 7, no TV movies at all. Just choose your Lent. Where are you at? What are we struggling with? And then how deep in are we going to go this year? We got some comments flying in, so let's just check this out. This Lent, I need to find a wife. Oh, charts are awesome. Digital minimalism. Yes, Missy. Yes. And kind of figuring out where our sticking points are digitally. Like what, because obviously we have to use technology, most of us, for daily living, but what are the sticking points? What are the points that, you know, it's leading us versus we're going into it? Let's see. I like these ideas. Watch only Catholic movies and entertainment. That's a great one for the TV movies one. Yeah, anytime you want to watch a movie, make sure it's enriching your faith. Moment to moment discipline, decisions and practices are very important. Great insight. Thank you so much. I was reminded of that concept by Audrey at the Fit, Fearless, and Faithful Mom, and she just mentioned that, do the next right thing, and I love that concept. Okay, so we're going to continue a few more ideas, and a lot of these ideas come from this book. This is called Catholic All Year. This is a reference book. I've talked about this book before when I talked about Advent. You can read it cover to cover, but you will be overwhelmed. But if you use it as a reference book, it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. This is Catholic All Year by Kendra Tierney. And I believe the little miss is waking up. We'll see. She might get fussy. We'll see. Okay. Another thing that we can struggle with sometimes, I don't think a lot of mothers struggle with this, but sometimes is laziness. Laziness. So for that one, some ideas are take the worst parking spot wherever you drive. That would be quite a feat. You know, if you have 5 kids in tow, that would be a lot. But that's an idea. Another idea is give up the snooze button. I'm considering this one. That would be very challenging. Okay. And then now to the traditional Lenten fast, food, you know. But let's customize this. Let's think of how, if you have a food attachment, is your attachment to a certain food? Is it to like the concept of binge eating, or you're eating right before bedtime? Or is emotional eating? Or is it junk food? So if we're gonna do a food, let's customize it for your situation. So an idea, if it's a specific trigger food, just give it up. You know, I'm giving up chocolate. That's the stereotypical one you always hear. If it's emotional eating, no eating after 7 p.m. Save desserts for Sunday. I love that one. Let's see, what else has come in? I saw some more. Let's see, praying before meals. Yes. And everyone pray. Okay, for Project Zeiss. Zeisy? I don't know how to say that. I'm so sorry. Pray for me and my husband to be able to have a baby. Thank you. Yes, everyone offer up a quick prayer there. Save desserts for Sunday. Yes. Very nice. Okay. So that's some ideas for fasting. Now, just a reminder, if you're in survival mode, okay? Fast from sin. Schedule confession. Schedule a confession during Lent. That's basic, but it's so good to check into. So, let's see. There we go. All right. So those are some fasting ideas. If you guys have any more, please, I mean, there's millions of ideas for what to give up. This just barely scratches the surface. But if you want to share something that was particularly fruitful for you, any Lent in the past, or just go ahead and share that. One Lent, I gave up country music. It sounds so silly, but like country music in the car. I wasn't allowed to listen to it because a lot of times I would listen to country music and it would give me memories from the past, and I would like just go down memory lane, but my mind, I wasn't being prudent with my thoughts, and so I gave it up. And would you know, there was so much healing that happened that Lent. That was my best growing Lent ever. Country music, who knew? Songs about trains and let's see what else. All right, confession, once a week confession. Yeah, how often do you not have that option where you're living right now? Waking up early to spend a little time with your husband before work. I can't talk, I'm sorry, Lisa. That's such a gift. That's such a gift because it's a sacrifice and then it blesses somebody else, starts him off on the right foot. Yes, daily mass is a struggle for me as well. I feel like it's too easy to procrastinate because they're not holy days of obligation. Oh, yeah. I saw that daily mass comment come in, but I didn't quite read it. Let's see. Where did it go? Feeling drawn to daily mass, but drag my feet to get out of the house. It is tough, right? And I have that too, and especially with children. Sometimes the daily mass is in the chapel instead of the main church, and so you're just like, you're in there with ticking time bombs, you know, like, don't be so loud. Hi, Christy. We're talking about what we're giving up for Lent. We're talking about fasting. Tell me some things you gave up during Lent that was really fruitful for you. We're just finishing up with fasting and we're going to move on to prayer in just a little bit. But feel free to keep the comments coming if you're sharing something that was really moving for you during Lent. Okay, so let's move on to prayer. All right. So prayer, I kind of think of it in three different ways. I think of personal prayer, family prayer, and community prayer. So if we're just talking basic, we're survival mode, right? Basic Lent. We're going to Mass and we're going to receive the Eucharist as often as possible. Okay? And don't beat yourself up if that's not every day, you know, every 3 days. Do what you can do. Have prayer with God to figure out what that needs to be this Lent. Okay. I'm going to catch up on these comments. I see these beautiful, there we go, prayers coming in. Thank you. I think I will give up coffee. I did it for my pregnancy, so I know I can do it again. Yes. Yes. I just have to power through it with the smell of my husband drinking it in the morning. Yeah, trigger. All right, St. Hildegard is wonderful. I gave up secular music one year, and now I rarely listen to it. There's so many good Christian songs and artists out there. It's so true. It is so true. There's so much beautiful music, not to mention old school music, you know, like the old composers. There's some really amazing works of art that you can listen to. Let's see. St. Hildegard's amazing. We need to do a whole nother video on her. She's awesome. Adoration is a must for me. Yes, that's another basic. You know, it's something that is offered that we can intentionally check into this year. Oh, love adoration. So many genres. So what is your favorite Christian, non-secular music that you listen to? Okay, let's see. All right, so to prayer. All right, so personal prayer. I wanted to give a shout out to, there's a Twitter study on this book, Matt Mayer. It's already started. I feel so silly. I thought it started on Ash Wednesday, but it started February 1st. But you can catch up. There's still time. I'm going to be catching up. The hashtag is TOLLELEGE. And so they're reading St. Augustine's Confessions, and it's this particular edition, and they're going to give, like, kind of, it's a book club, essentially. So I'll be doing this, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying it so far. And the handle is at CCPECKNOLD. CC Pecknold? I think it's a priest. I have all the information in the description box, or I will. It's not there right this second, but I will. So, if you want to get on that Twitter study, February 1st through 8 was book 1, and then book 2 was 8 through 15th. So now they're on book 3, which is, oh yeah, you can totally catch up. It's not that much. So, but anyway. So if you want to jump on that, that's a good one. Heather from A Catholic Mom's Life. Oh man, I didn't write it down. Okay, so Heather recommended a devotional and Laura recommended a devotional, and I wanted to make sure that I gave a shout out to those. Are you waking up, little one? You waking up? And my dear friend who is just a Catholic bookworm, she gave me some recommendations. So I'll have those in the description box. Do you have any book recommendations for devotionals you're doing this Lent? It's okay. All right, give us one moment. Tell me your book recommendations. Say hello. Say hello. I know. Okay, so another basic prayer that we can do is Stations of the Cross. That's a good one. Oh, I love Audrey's song. Okay, let's see. All right. It's okay. It's easy how quick they are to stop crying. Okay, so where were we? Yes, Stations of the Cross are fantastic. A lot of parishes offer them on Fridays, and sometimes they do like a fish fry or a soup and stations kind of a thing. There's also, you know, some people have small children and maybe it wouldn't be best to take everybody to stations, or, you know, it's fine. Like, take them to stations. I'm not saying not to, but if you're too scared to, like I was when my kids were really little, they have like kid versions of stations that you can print. There's PDFs and coloring pages. So I'll be linking those too in my description box. So make sure to check that description box out later. As soon as this video uploads, that description box will go up to date. Okay, the Rosary, that's another one. Heather recommended the 54-day novena during Lent. I think that's very powerful. That would be like a level 3, right? But even praying the Rosary more often. Many Hail Marys at a time on Instagram is a great resource for praying daily. I really enjoyed that. They do a live Rosary twice a day. So, oh yes, and the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. I love that chaplet, 3 p.m. And there's so many on YouTube. You can just play it, and if you happen to get interrupted, you pause and you just go right back. Okay, let's catch up. All right, you have Augustine's Confessions. All right. Let's see. You can catch up, and you should read it. That would be fun. All right. You'll learn so much. Like, it's just so fun. There's so much brain food. My husband and I started consecration to St. Joseph. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Blessed is She has good ones. Oh, are you talking about the Stations of the Cross for children, or what resource does Blessed is She have? Let's see. And though he's not Catholic, Sean, I don't know how to say that last name, did an underground worship concert here in Saudi Arabia. About 1,000 Christians show up. Wow, that's really cool. Yes, stations. Okay, you're currently reading Thinking Like Jesus, The Psychology of a Faithful Disciple. So awesome. Written by Dr. Ray Grundy. I love Dr. Ray. You know, I called Dr. Ray once, and I was so excited to talk to him. He's like a celebrity to me, and he said, you are, I've never had anyone so excited to talk to me, and so he was making fun of me. Okay. Yes, the chaplet, so good. Okay, let's see. Oh, if you don't know about the app iPieta, that app is awesome. I'm really enjoying it. It's got so many prayers. It's got the daily readings, but not just for the Novus Ordo, it's got it for the Ordinariat, and it's also got it for the traditional Latin Mass. It's really cool. Yes, I'm a Dr. Ray fangirl. I totally was. I was so excited, talking a million miles an hour. So funny. Okay. All right, so that's kind of personal prayer. We're thinking devotionals. Someone recommended Give Up Worry for Lent. Have any of you guys read that? I think I need that one. So let's see. I just downloaded the I Pieta. Laudate is a good app too. I really like Laudate too, but my current like fix is I Pieta Hallow app, and it's phenomenal. And you know, just kind of having those apps. The other day, I was getting on my phone nonsense. You know, not you know when you do it automatically without even intentionally getting on your phone. Well, I did that, and I guess that app was open, and it was the consecration to the Holy Family prayer was open. I'm like, yeah, okay, phone down. Like, thank you, God. Let's see. Saints of the day on Laudate. Yes, we learned so much from the saints. We really do. All right, so that's personal prayer. Now, family prayer. I like the idea of writing a Lent prayer as a family, like kind of having not a mission statement necessarily, but you know, this is our prayer that we're going to pray together, even if it's so simple. For Advent, we did this too, and it was Jesus, help me to love you. And it was just like a simple sentence, but it got everybody on the same page. We just wrote it out and had it on our wall. I think we're going to do that again. Okay. Very good. Oh, there is one other app, since we're chatting about apps. Pray as you go. It's a Catholic meditation app, and they talk about mental health. It's so relaxing. They have beautiful music, but it's Catholic, so you're not gonna see anything weird there. And yeah, Pray as you go is a really good app. Okay, family prayer. So family prayer, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I hope you guys forgive me. Family stations. So that's kind of back to the Stations of the Cross, making one where you do one in your home. And then you can move on to community prayer, where you're inviting people into your family stations, and do a soup in stations. And then we're like touching into the almsgiving part of Lent, right? Where, you know, you're inviting someone over for a meal and having that fellowship. So I really like that idea. Community prayer, you know, of course there's Mass, and sometimes they do Lenten music things. So just kind of look for what's going on in your community and ask God where he's asking you to focus. Is he asking you to focus internally? Is he asking you to focus on family, or, you know, on your community? And not that you can't do a little of each of them, but if there's one that's really compelling you right now, if you feel like you haven't checked into your own personal prayer in a while, visit that. You know, if you feel disconnected from community, go that route. So that's kind of my 2 cents on where to take prayer. Okay, and last, almsgiving. So basic survival mode idea would be intentional about giving with your family. Like, be generous with your family, generous with your love, that whole concept of small things with great love. So if you're in survival mode, remember that. Wash their laundry with love, wash the dish with love, you know, not because you need the dish clean, but because you love the person who used it, that concept, right? So I heard about this family idea, and are any of you guys healthy living junkies like I am? So I need a healthy living version of this idea. But basically, it's a jelly bean jar. And every time somebody in the family does a good deed, they get, no, I'm sorry, not a jelly bean, a bean, like a dried pinto bean or something. Every time somebody does a good deed, they get a pinto bean. And they're filling up all the pinto beans for Lent, right? And then come Easter, all the pinto beans get changed into jelly beans. I think it's the cutest idea, but my kids don't eat candy, so I need another idea for this. Maybe coins, I don't know. Let me know if you have any ideas. But then once Easter comes, they get to, once they do a good deed during Easter season, then they can take that jelly bean out and eat it. So It's like a 2 for 2. It's like good deed in, good deed out. I love that idea. Have any of you guys done that? Our mini marshmallows of candy. Yeah, my kids don't eat those, but I could make them. I could technically make them homemade. Maybe. Like you can make anything. It just, we'll see. I really like that idea. If they reach a point in the jar, an ice cream sundae treat. That's an idea, a concept. Like just saying, like once we get here, Mom will make your gluten-free cake. Just teasing my poor children. Homemade gummies. Carla, of course. Thank you. Thank you. Which reminds me, I need to do the elderberry gummies video. Win-win. Okay. So, and if we're talking about almsgiving for, you want to do something personally, think about going through your closet, donating some stuff, writing handwritten letters. Remember those? To somebody you love. Purging your home with love. I was about to say food pantry. You read my mind. Go to a food pantry, soup kitchen. Yes, wonderful ideas. Who else has almsgiving ideas? Because that was what I came up with. So what else for almsgiving? I think Heather on her video, Catholic Mom's Life, had some beautiful ideas for almsgiving. She's just such a beautiful person. Yeah, she talked about being more generous than we usually are. The 14 works of mercy. Yes, yes. You are making these fastings sound so exciting. Well, you know, I love our faith, and I love Jesus so much. I really do, and I know you do too. I know everyone here does. Okay, so one final thing. If you want to make a sort of Lenten mission statement, you can say something like this. This is from Catholic All Year. This Lent, I will strive each day to do less blank, to do more blank, never to blank, always to blank. So if that helps you come up with your action plan for this Lent, then use a template like that. Do less, do more, never, always. Because guys, I'm telling you, there's just so many great ideas, so many great things. But we got to ask God what he wants us to do for our Lent and our journey with him, because the idea is to get closer to him, to draw closer to him, and only you and he have that connection to know what that needs to be this Lent. So yeah, when you get off this live stream, if you haven't figured it out already, take a minute and quiet and just ask him to reveal to you what he wants you to do this Lent. And yeah, I trust that he will. So does anybody else have any suggestions before we sign out? I feel like this was a really good live stream. I have some more ideas now, so I'm going to be reflecting. I'm going to take some quiet time in this beautiful weather and just really lock it in. And it doesn't have to be extravagant, you know, small things with great love. Okay? All right, let others help you bear your cross. That's a hard one. That is a hard one. So, all right, blessings, and we'll see you later. Bye.